Hey folks, welcome back to Quick Reviews. I'm Globku here with Warak.
Hi.
And Fajitas.
Hey there.
Why don't we do things from front to back this time? Let's talk about the game we played most recently first, which is For Honor.
Okay.
We all played it, so this is going to be a big discussion. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a big.
Okay, I haven't touched the single player campaign, so what you have to say about it?
About the single player campaign, I think the single player campaign is pretty cool. I mean, there's barely a story in it. There's a couple of characters that are memorable. You memorize maybe like 3 characters out of the whole thing, so it barely tells a story. It's more about human nature is a state of war, so people just fight. And
is it just a message? Is that just a message?
That's the message, pretty much. But the story campaign does take you into some interesting places. The maps, they're able to do things that they're not able to do in multiplayer because they have to balance the maps for them to be fair. And in here, you're kind of fighting your way through a castle. You're kind of infiltrating a fortress, and it does give you some powers. Some of them you can use in multiplayer. Some of them are just straight broken, so you couldn't use them in multiplayer, but they're still fun to use on the campaign. Like there's a healing ability that has a very small cooldown that will be completely broken in multiplayer. I get to use that like 3 times in a fight sometimes. But it's single player, so
it's balanced for the single player, not for the multiplayer. Okay.
You know, there are several difficulty levels for the single player, and I've only played on normal. I'm guessing harder difficulties, that stuff
will punish you hard.
Broken.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are some instances where the game has you fight these 3 heroes at the same time. You're like, okay, fighting multiple people in For Honor is already tough. So fighting AI in a harder difficulty where they know the moves you're gonna do and they're able to counter you perfectly, like that's gonna require some skill for sure.
Okay.
And it also has some new mechanics, some interesting stuff. Like how do I not spoil this? Maybe there's stuff that you can shoot that explodes. It blows up. For instance.
Okay.
And I didn't know
you have interactions with the scenarios.
Yeah, destructible environments.
I didn't know you could do co-op with the people.
Yeah.
How many people? 2 people. 2 people in total.
That I know of, yes, 2, but I might be wrong on that.
Okay,
cool. That's cool.
What about the combat system? You guys played the betas. You guys played a ton of multiplayer.
Oh, I love it. I love the combat system. It's so awesome. It just feels like very tense when you fight other players, and when you are on that close combat scenario, it's really close, really in your face.
It is, and they nailed it in this combat system. Sometimes you might feel like it's unfair sometimes, but they are just using the same mechanics as you are using.
I heard people complaining that it's like a rock paper scissors system. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh, wait, complaining that it's a rock paper scissors system?
Yeah,
it's random.
No,
the chance of you winning is random. No, for sure.
Learn to play, goddammit.
If you learn to
play,
get
in the mind of your opponent.
I see really skilled players just owning me like I was nothing, and I can do the same for some players too. And especially when you change your class, I noticed that some classes are better against others, for sure.
Oh, sure, of course. That's the way the game's balanced.
I'm not talking about how skilled you are with a class, but some classes are better against others.
Yeah,
I've
been maining the Shugoki, and every time I find a Nobushi in a duel, I'm like, okay, if this guy's good, he's gonna take me to town for sure.
Exactly. If you're a slow guy, you're gonna have a tough time with a Nobushi because you can just like stab you a little bit and go away.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you land a heavy hit, it's half health and gone.
Yeah, but the thing about Shugoki, like he's very slow, so he can't really close the gap if the Nobushi tries to
back away.
The gap.
Yeah.
So like if he stabs me and I'm bleeding all of a sudden, and now I'm just losing health, and I can't really get to the Nobushi fast enough. And some players are really good at exploiting those advantages for sure.
Doesn't the Nobushi take more damage if you break the iron?
The Shugoki takes more damage if you break his uninterruptible stance.
Yeah, yes. one more thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's specifics that we don't necessarily have to get into. I think we're all a fan of the combat system.
I really like For Honor. The combat kind of feels fresh, but I know where they were kind of getting these influences from. Of course, it's very Dark Soulish in a way.
Is it?
And at the same time, it's really feels like a fighting game in a way.
Fighting game.
There's combos.
It's like a weird mix, but it's very well done.
I like the way the classes are all different. Even some similar abilities have different keys. We talked about that, right? So they made sure every single class is different, and you're gonna have a different experience by playing different classes for sure.
I definitely understand where players are coming from. Like there's a complexity to this fighting system that players don't want to dive into, and I had a viewer on a stream the other day. It was Clearwinds. He said, "This game looks boring. Is it just me, or is anyone else feeling that?" And I said, if this looks boring to you, definitely don't get this game.
Yeah.
Because if people don't get the appeal of that combat system, then it's not a game for them. Like it's
For sure.
really
Yeah, it's the core of the whole game. If they don't like it, then just don't buy it. And it's really multiplayer focused, so don't buy this for the story, I guess.
Don't buy this for the story, but it's a cool campaign.
It's a cool campaign, yeah. But if you're buying this for the campaign itself, no.
It's pretty short too. It's like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. But so it's not a campaign. It's not for the story. Just the mechanics you're introduced in, and
it does.
Does it influence multiplayer in some way? Like, do you earn anything?
It gives you currency to buy stuff.
Okay.
Sure, yeah. So score.
I would give it an A.
A.
I'll give it an A. I think it's a fair A.
I think so too. We'll check in back next month, see how long this game does over time, because it's multiplayer focused.
Sure. And they're probably gonna debuff some classes.
Sure, see how well they maintain it. Like, if there's something that I don't like about their multiplayer, is the faction war, where you choose your own faction. At the end of each match, you can deploy some troops on whatever front, and that always feels meaningless.
Oh yeah.
You don't never have enough troops to defend territory. Like, I never saw that percentage change.
The more you play, the more troops you can send in.
Yeah, and also the better you do on matches, the more troops you have. But even when I was playing well, I didn't feel I was making much of a difference.
For sure. There's too many people to make a difference.
Yes, definitely.
What's next?
Let's talk about.
For that was Nioh.
Yeah. I was gonna say Nioh. You've played Nioh more than anyone.
I beat it
here.
We did a Magical Impressions on the channel. You can watch that if you want to know more about the game. But basically, it's Souls-like. It's got very different combat from a Dark Souls, however, where in a Dark Souls you have a ton of different weapons, each one with their moveset. Here you have 5 different weapons, and each one has 3 stances, which changes the moveset. And then you can also upgrade the moveset by gaining skill points. There's another layer.
It feels very much like a new level of Ninja Gaiden.
I'll take your word for it.
I mean, with quick reflexes and everything else, it's very Ninja Gaiden Black, and
it's a lot faster than usual Dark Souls. Even faster than Bloodborne for sure. That's what I can say about it. And like it's
like very
combo,
twitchy.
Yeah, the combo nature of that game, like it has an active reload system essentially.
Yeah,
where you attack, it spends your stamina, and then you actively reload your stamina so you can keep comboing up.
Wow, active reload.
Yeah, so you finish a combo, you active reload, and you can straight up do another combo right away. So in that way, yes, it's a lot faster than the Souls games, and the different special abilities you unlock, the different combos. Once you master them, they become very satisfying to use. Once you find the space to use them, because sometimes you have boss fights where you can only land like 2 attacks before you have to back off.
Okay.
So finding the spot where you can really unleash your strongest combo ends up being a very satisfying thing as well.
But when we did the Magical Impressions, I was like, oh, this game looks cool and has like cool mechanics and superpowers with the spiritual animals and shit like that. I want to try that.
The loot system is also very different. It's more of a Diablo sort of style of loot, where every enemy drops a piece of loot.
So there's the epic thing, there's the rare, and the legendary.
Different rarity levels for sure. And the levels themselves, like each level is separated from each other. It's not an interconnected hub world like
it's a mission-based structure.
But each mission has almost like a different mechanic, where it introduces, hey, here's a brand new mechanic, you've never seen this before, and then they never use it again. They build up on some of them, but it's so cool to enter a new mission and just feeling like it's such a different mission from everything else. Like that was a really cool thing that kept me going, and the game felt fresh from the start to end, and the boss fights were incredible.
You're talking about
very creative too.
Main missions, right?
Side missions sometimes also introduce some new mechanics. They definitely have some different bosses, I want to say, or at least different boss combinations, because sometimes they're like, this boss was hard, right? So why don't you fight this boss together with this boss, fight them both at the same time, have fun.
Yep, very Team Ninja.
What kind of people would play that game? Only people that play Souls games?
No.
Maybe, actually. Yeah. Like, if you're not into Souls, I don't think you're into that sort of structure.
I didn't get to play a lot of Souls, you know.
Well, then you don't even know if you're a person who enjoys Souls games, right?
Okay.
Sure, but
I did play a little bit, and there's that satisfaction when you actually kill a boss.
If you like twitchy games, like very like hack and slashy and those types of games, like, I don't know, Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden Black, and
so there's a spectacle there that I don't think is present in Nioh. Like the spectacle of Devil May Cry and even Ninja Gaiden.
It's not as flashy. The combat is not as like eye-catching as.
But I think it's flashier than.
It's
than
certainly
Dark
flashier
Souls.
than Dark Souls. There's more like special attacks
well,
and.
Maybe because it's faster, I guess.
And you have the special abilities, the powers, the spirit animals.
You cut the guy to slices like a meat grinder.
And there's weapons in Dark Souls that cause explosions. So it's like,
there are.
yeah,
it's
you
different.
Don't have that in
It's
Nioh,
different.
right?
Yeah, but I think Nioh is flashier.
Something I think Nioh could do a lot better is maybe introduce different enemy types. Because you fight the same enemies from the first level to the last. It introduces some over the course of the game, but I think a lot of the fear that comes with the Souls games of entering a new level and not knowing what to expect is finding a new enemy. And you take that moment, instead of attacking him right away, you see what his moveset looks like, you see what his abilities are like before you decide to attack him, because you're scared that he's going to do something that's going to kill you. In Nioh, that fear doesn't exist, because as soon as you enter a level, you see, okay, that enemy and that enemy together, I know what they're going to do. And you just sort of run past levels a lot faster than a Souls game. So I think, yeah, more enemy types will definitely benefit that game a lot, but I would still recommend it for sure. That is another A.
Yeah.
We've got some good games this month.
I would, I need to play it first. I can't give it an A. I don't know what to give. And can I give one?
Give it anything.
Okay, I won't give anything for you guys. Okay, nothing for you.
Enough about good games. Let's talk about Fire Emblem Heroes.
You want to talk about Fire Emblem Heroes?
Let's talk about.
I've played. I uninstalled the game today.
You uninstalled the game today? Finally.
People.
Okay,
hey,
thank you.
Fire Emblem. It's like, whoa, it's super cool games from Nintendo.
I think
the method they are using, the mechanics are exactly the same of other games that came before.
Which mechanics?
What, the Fire Emblem mechanics?
No.
It's like every other
mechanics of you can play until you run out of
the
energy,
system,
the stamina system. Oh, you can get points to buy new heroes from the other dimension.
I'm with you. Like I'm done with that sort of stamina system and microtransaction stuff. Like I really, it really. As soon as I open up a game and I see a bunch of different currencies, I'm immediately turned off by it. But I'm starting to give them a pass when it's a free-to-play thing. If it's well paced and it's not too egregious about the microtransactions.
I never had to pay nothing on that game.
I'm not saying
I reached chapter 9, I think.
On story mode,
which was
barely a story.
It's fucking boring.
Yeah, it's
because
boring.
it's like, hey, here's a new hero. You're gonna have to defeat him at the end of this chapter.
Why did you come to my land? Oh, I guess you have to defeat me. And that's the story.
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm here to kick your fucking ass, and you kick his ass and he joins your team because you're kicking my ass like hard enough. So you must be better than me.
I'm just sad because there's a lot of potential and they don't use it.
What about the game itself? I'm a big Advanced Wars fan, and that sort of turn-based strategy.
Okay, let's talk about gameplay mechanics, excluding the microtransactions things and the summons new heroes and everything. I think the mechanics are actually pretty good. You have the different types of characters. You have each one has his own color. You have uncolored ones also that.
I also think it has some superficial depth in which there's a ton of characters that do the same stuff.
You have the same classes like mages and ninjas
also,
and like they have the same attacks, they have the same range, but they have different stats, and the stats is something that you can level up. So then the game becomes a little bit of a grind when you want to switch teams to another level team.
I never switched teams,
and it's those kinds of things that like turn me off immediately.
But otherwise, like gameplay mechanics are fine. If you have to scramble with the options a little bit, like to not get everything automatic. But otherwise, once you like tweak everything on the options menu to your liking, I think it's a pretty well-made game.
I disagree. I think the maps are a bit boring. Like they're too short to really convey any sense of. There are differences between all the maps, but it's almost like there are 5 different map types, and you've seen that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So like not enough longevity for a game like that. You need to have a bigger variety, and I think bigger maps are maybe a necessity.
One thing that I miss,
one
thing that I miss is like the different terrains could also influence the tech types.
Yeah.
But the only thing that you have is like if one character flies or it's on horse, then it's gonna have an overcoming stance over the one that's on foot.
For simplicity's sake, they simplified a lot.
Yeah, there's some depth with, but you get super tired of the game.
Yeah, really after a week I was super tired. Yeah, it's a cool game to play when you're in the toilet.
That's the big flaw, which is it's repetitive.
Yeah,
it's really repetitive.
You're kind of excited because they're trying to do games for Nintendo,
and then they're
trying to make they starting making games, cool games. But when you go to see it, like Square Enix, it's just sad to see Square Enix and Nintendo coming up with games. But they are just copies of old games. They can do better than this.
They can, but they're just exploiting the mobile market. It doesn't really matter.
I'm just sad.
Just one thing to add about Fire Emblems is like the summoning system of the other heroes. It's like if you're a Fire Emblem fan, it's really cool. Like you really want to get that hero that you liked on any particular game.
Nostalgia value.
It's if you haven't played the Fire Emblem games, like I have played like 2
Who cares?
tops. Yeah, it's like I don't even know this person. Oh, it's okay. Their stats are cool, but what else? Okay, 4 stars. Oh, is this good? I don't know.
Score?
I would give it like a D.
D.
You can laugh.
D. Thank you for watching another episode of Quick Reviews. We'll be back in 2 weeks from now to review some more games in the meantime.
We hope.
Let us know if you agree or disagree with the scores we've given, the games we talked about today. Leave your own scores in the comments below, like the video and all that. Vegetas, make me a new end screen! God fucking damn it!
Everything in its time, my child.
God fucking damn it.
Make me a new